Welcome to the November 18th meeting of the Fitchburg Cultural Council. I now call this meeting to order at 5:06 p.m. Cell phone guy. Please be advised that FHTV is conducting audio and video recording of this meeting for public broadcast. I ask that anyone else in the audience who is recording this meeting to please identify themselves by standing and stating their name and city of residence. We don't have anyone here tonight doing that. I ask at this time that all electronic devices be placed into silent mode. The Fitchburg Cultural Council is a public entity. We are part of the Massachusetts Cultural Council, serving as the local cultural council. Our mission here is to elevate the rich cultural life in Fitchburg, and our members are appointed by the mayor of the city of Fitchburg. We all serve as volunteers, and we are always looking for new members. Feel free to talk to any one of us to learn how you can get involved. You may also email us with your interest at fitchburg.mcc@gmail.com. Councilors present at today's meeting include Tamar Russell Brown. Actually, I should just do a roll call. Tamar Russell Brown. Here. Dan Dow.
Present.
Jen Hemingway.
Present.
Ellen Doust.
Here.
Shara Osgood.
Here.
Lily Fernandez Gomez.
Here.
Mike Amadeo.
Here.
Liz Murphy.
Here.
Catherine Healy.
Here.
Sam Luxama. Not present. And Joe Bowen here. Okay, our agenda. We have one item on the agenda, folks. Well, technically three, but if there are any introductory comments, which I have exhausted at this point, I have no special announcements. We will soon jump right into the FY25 grant applications. And we have 90 grant applications this year, which is a big jump over last year. We have a lot of work ahead of us, and I want to thank everybody for your kindness to still be with us here on the council today to help us get through this. I know it's going to be a lot of work, but I appreciate it tremendously. And then when we're done with that, we'll be wrapping up with any other upcoming events announcements, something that's relevant to what we're working on here today. I'll open the floor for that. We will have a hard stop at an hour and a half, well, 6:30 p.m., so a little less than an hour and a half from now. And our next meeting will be our monthly meeting on Monday, the 25th of November at 5 p.m. over at the Legislative Building. And there's an agenda posted for that. You should all have received a copy. Okay. So we're going to jump into the grants for FY25. I'm sorry. Oh, we can do announcements. Do you have an announcement for this?
Well, this is more of an announcement for the public, but also internally. Just I wanted to give people an update on the Winter Bazaar.
Oh, yes, please do.
We have 18 vendors so far, and we now have Santa coming and bringing milk and cookies for kids that want to come visit Santa. And I think you could take a picture with Santa, but that'll be on the third floor. And during the Winter Bazaar. So that's the Guild of St. Agnes that does that every year. So we've joined forces with them. So hopefully that will just make it bigger and better.
We thank them very much for their participation.
Did they volunteer and was that a reach out? You reached out to them?
They were looking for a space, and the mayor thought that the mayor made a connection basically, and that was a good idea. Anyways, so.
And here,
I reached out to a coordinator for a couple other fairs in the area and shared her flyer, and she said she's going to share with their vendors too. So we might
Awesome.
bump that up a little bit.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get maybe.
People can't make it one weekend. They're like, oh darn.
so we're still down to like very few openings left, right?
Yeah, when I reached out to her, I told her we only had a couple of spaces left, so I didn't promise anything.
Yeah.
I just said we had a couple of spaces left.
So we were talking about doing art to do lawn signs. Do you know like the size of the lawn signs?
I have all that info. I called with Minuteman and talked to Diane. I could send you an email.
Yeah.
But it's 150 without the stakes and 170 with the stakes for a set of 10 signs. And they charge a layout charge if you want them to design it for you, but you could do it, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I assumed.
That seems reasonable.
Yeah. And then do we want a sign for like outside the building for the day of the event?
We do have one.
Okay, cool.
But I gotta take a closer look at it because it had the sign stand itself had some issues, so I want to make sure that we can fix it.
Yeah, because
It kept coming unclipped, and then the actual sign was peeling off of it. So it was not really good.
I went over to the one at the Fitchburg Senior Center and you couldn't really tell there was an event they had like a vendor event and you couldn't really tell there was an event because there was no sign outside. So
Yeah, it's really important to, and so the one, and balloons is good too, yeah. The one that we have is actually really big.
Okay.
It's well, not really, I mean, it's pretty standard kind of A-frame size, although it's not an A-frame, but it's meant to manage pretty well with wind. And although I do think that wind is part of what damaged it.
That would take balloons away too, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it could be a tie.
Put them, tie them to the railing or something.
Anyway, I'm sure we're gonna have fabulous weather today. So.
exciting.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else have any announcements? Okay, so we'll begin going through the grants. As I had mentioned in a notice to all of you earlier today and within the last week or so, we're going to work through the book from the first application down to the last. These are in chapter order. I'm calling them chapters. They're not labeled as chapters, but that's how we'll look at it. The grant numbers are important in the conversation here, and we'll be tracking the votes based off of the grant application number. And Shara is working on that on our tracking spreadsheet. But we will also refer to chapter numbers from time to time. You all were sent a cheat sheet of sorts that tells you what an application is in application order and what chapter it corresponds to. You're welcome to reference that. I did not bring a bunch of copies for everybody. Not sure we're going to need it tonight, but you might find it useful later. And so we're going to go through as many applications as we can get through in the time allotted. And then we will stop and we will do it again at the next meeting and then again at the next meeting until we exhaust them all. We're doing the first round of grant approvals today. This first round is determining eligibility and qualifications for funding. So you may have some items of concern or items you need clarification on in terms of how the grant requests are being requested for a certain amount of funds for this and other thing. We're not here to deliberate funding on an application. Folks are asking for funds that they want. When we get to discuss the funding component, which is our round 2 meeting, we can talk about our concerns about what was requested, whether it was the right thing and for the right thing and that sort of stuff. So ideally, I would like to focus strictly on, are they qualified to move on for the funding discussion? Any questions about that? Okay. Well, let's dive in. And for the benefit of the public, we have had these books for a couple of weeks now, and we have done homework. Hopefully, all of us have done enough homework, and we're pretty comfortable and have taken notes on the grant applications themselves. And this is the meeting where we come together and we discuss what we have found. So we may or may not be explaining every single detail of every application during the meeting, and that's the reason why. So first application, Shara, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, our first application is going to be FY25 LCC 97699. It's submitted by 669. Thank you. Do that again. FY25 LCC 97669. That's submitted by Cynthia Garrett for a project titled Reading and Signing for Ellen and Belly, Sister Detectives, a Bilingual Book.
And I make a motion that we accept this as an eligible.
Thank you, Shara. I have a motion on the table. Is there a second?
Second.
I have a
What was the
second
motion?
to accept this grant.
So motions
Just a
always
Every time.
have to be made in the affirmative. So we always make a motion to approve, and then you either say yes if you wanted to approve it, or you say no if you don't. So if there's an application that you're like, oh, this just is not eligible, you'd still make a motion to approve, and then you
We have to
say
approve
vote
it,
against
second it, and then we can have a conversation about it. And then we'll
Okay,
go.
so the conversation will follow now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I made the motion to approve it. Who said, did somebody second it?
Okay, Mark seconded it.
Okay.
Thank you. And before I open it up to the floor to speak to the motion, I do want to back up just a little bit and state that the most productive conversation we can have is if we put the motion up front. So we put the motion up front, and then we can deliberate on it, and then we can control the conversation and make sure we're all heard, and then I'll call the vote. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So anyone speaking to the motion to accept grant number FY25 WCC 97669? Sharon?
I just want to say, I think it's really cool. It's two kids, a 12-year-old and a 9-year-old wrote the book. And they're doing a thing at the library to read the book and share it with a larger audience. And the event is free except for they have the book and people can buy it for $17. I just, yeah, I think it's.
I'm voting
I'm
to
sorry.
decline.
Just
Oh,
point of
sorry.
order. Sharon still has the floor.
That's all I wanted to say.
Okay. Anyone else? I'll go with Mike since he spoke. Go ahead. You can go next.
I'm voting to decline. I found it too narrow a scope, number one, and no supporting letter. She's not a Fitchburg resident, so those 2 points. Declining.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was my thought about it.
Yeah.
Tamar, you have a comment?
Yeah, I had two thoughts. That Cynthia is not from town, but I did want to put in just a note about Marcia Gagliardi. She's a publisher. She is located in Athol, but they publish all regional small books written by local people. And she's a retired school teacher, and so she's a really good academic in the region who teaches writing and supports people with writing. Just a couple notes I wanted to put out there.
Thank you. Anyone else speaking to the motion?
I just want to add to the, that I don't think it has enough of the Fitchburg guidelines because it's not from Fitchburg and it's not providing the letter of support from the Fitchburg Library, and in this case, the venue where it will take place. And the name of local contributors, if I understand correctly, that local contributor that they have to list, they have to be local, meaning that it's Fitchburg. That's not really found in here. I mean, there are contributors from Massachusetts, but again, if local means Fitchburg, we don't have partners from Fitchburg.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else speaking to the motion?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, it's a low cost investment. You know, it's $150 ask, but there is no connection, which is unfortunate. If they just got a letter or whatnot, then we couldn't go forward. Yes.
So as I understand.
Oh, sorry, Mike.
Sorry.
I just want to acknowledge that I kind of missed that it wasn't, that they didn't have a letter of support because I saw, oh, they're doing it at the library, but the library didn't send a letter of support. So I think that makes it ineligible.
Yeah.
By the guidelines.
Mike?
Okay, so 2 points. I just want to know how rigid they are. Number one, I did not consider the amount in my evaluation this round, and I thought we were not to. And secondly, I see it as a must meet all needed letter of support. So is that a gray area or does it need a letter or not? Is that a hard yes or no on that requirement?
Is there anyone else who wants to speak to this before I speak? Okay, so it is true they do not have, this applicant did not provide a letter of support. It is part of our required local criteria. And it is, we have the discretion as a council to vote against that. But if we are not consistent in our decisions, we will cause conflicts within other grantees and we'll run into some issues. And I highly recommend that the council vote along what the public has asked us to require and what we agreed prior to grant season on what we require. So with that, unless someone else wants to speak to the motion further, I'm ready to call a vote. Okay, all those in favor? All opposed? The motion fails.
So is it number 5? Does not meet, it's like I said, all of this.
It would be,
Does not meet the local.
that does not be the local criteria.
Right,
Do you want to
that's
use-
the 5. It's, yeah, it
Does it
doesn't-
need to be for the reason?
it just doesn't show me the whole.
I really wanted to open, right?
Yeah. That's it. I can see. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
All right,
Get ready, that's.
congratulations, you made it through the first grant.
29 left.
All right, moving on to,
89.
I think, can I make one comment?
yes, if it's relevant to
It's,
the application.
I personally feel they're all worthy. I want to
Of
adhere
course.
to.
Of course. Every application.
Unless I'm off as a naysayer, I'm anything but.
Yes,
I think it's hard, especially, with this many applications, is that like, a lot of times, if somebody just doesn't cross their Ts and dot their Is, we can't
Yeah.
accept it, even if it's the best one ever.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
okay.
Okay. We're moving on to the second grant application, which is FY 25-96608. Grantee is Ricardo Barros for a project titled Facing Fitchburg, a portfolio of portraits, passion, and agency. Motion to approve. Have a motion to approve from Liz. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Tamar. You ready, Sharon? Yeah. Anyone speaking to the motion?
and I think that I've seen some of these photographs, this project is amazing. And he not only is a local resident, but it's the Marquee Gallery, which is a new local gallery, and I think all of the boxes were checked.
Agreed, beautiful pictures, and very worthy.
Yeah, I love this project.
Liz? Anyone else speaking to the motion? Catherine?
I do like that how he stated it's a multi-year project, so it's not just gonna be one and done, it's sort of like gonna develop and be organically growing and depending on what's here and not here, and so it's unique in that way.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I would like to
Yes,
make
Lily.
a comment.
Sure.
I think that the project really checks all the boxes, and I just want to that we go back to this one in particular in our next meeting to talk about some questions that I might have regarding the budget
Sure.
and like some planning to sell. It's just so far I think that it checks everything, and maybe we can just have that in mind for our budget meeting.
Thank you, Lily. Anyone else speaking to the motion? Okay, all those in favor? Aye. It is unanimous. Motion carries. Thank you all.
There's something like that.
I'm making a note in my book regarding the budget question.
Or just like that it's unanimous.
Oh, no, you just put yes. We had a recording. Yeah, that's not. Okay, next up is third application. Application number FY 25-955832. Davis Bates III, project titled.
Wait,
95832.
I'm so sorry, guys. All right. We are reviewing application number FY 25 LCC 95832. Davis Bates is the grantee. The project title is Celebrating the Season, a Halloween Harvest. We have a motion on the table for this application.
Make a motion to approve this application.
Have a motion to approve from Tamar. Anyone second?
Second.
I heard Lily first. Lily, it's second. Okay, anyone speaking to the motion? Tamar?
He's not from town, but he has a letter.
Okay, great. Thank you.
I have
Anyone else?
a
Sharon?
question.
Yes.
Last year there was an event at the senior center with a musician that Audrey talked
It
about.
was not Davis Bates.
Okay, I didn't think so. I just
Yes.
didn't check. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else speaking to the motion? Okay, all those in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions?
I'm on the fence. I'll go for it.
Okay, that's unanimous. Unanimously. Thank you, Tina. Next application. And get the number right this time. This is application number FY 25 LCC 99924. This is from Juan Benitez, and the project is Seifa in the Berg 2025 breakdance competition.
I make a motion that we approve this.
I have a motion to approve from Sharon. Do we have a second?
I will second.
Second from Liz. And anyone speaking to the motion?
I want to speak to the motion. This event was funded last year, and they had it yesterday at Christ Church. And I was there for part of it, and it was really amazing, and what these people do for the youth, and it's not just here, it's like all over the place. It's just incredible, so wonderful.
Their social media is super engaging. It's great.
Yeah.
I've seen parts of two of their competitions, and just like the first one was in 2019, I think, before the pandemic. Just really, really amazing stuff. I want them to do it every year.
And the more that we have it has an appeal to youth, to younger people, I think this should be strongly supported.
Yeah.
I like it.
Anyone else?
It's also free, so it's also free.
Because it's free, yeah.
Yeah, for the community, so
Yeah.
it's gonna attract.
Okay, I will speak to this. I've been in touch. I've been to every one of the events. I was unfortunately not available yesterday for their event. It's extremely enjoyable and it's very engaging. A lot of people go to check it out. And I think it's a great connector for the kids and in the city, and I fully support this application. Anyone else speaking to the motion?
I just want to say one more thing. I,
Yeah,
I
sure.
know that the people who run it, they do these events in like Las Vegas and in California, and like they go all over and do these events, and this is their home, and so they're bringing it home, and they're bringing a lot of people from all over the place here to do this competition. So it's exactly the kind of event we want to support.
It is.
Thank you, Sharon.
Cool.
Anyone else? Okay, all those in favor? Aye. It's unanimous, it passes. Moving on to application number 5. Application ID FY25 LCC 101395. This is the grantee Panel Stu with the Fitchburg and Vendra Facade for the Project Sarang Colors of South Asian Music. We have a motion on the table for this.
Make a motion to approve application 103.
Motion to approve application FY25 LCC 101395 from Tamar. Is there a second? I have a second from Jen. Anyone speaking to the motion? Yes, Lily.
This one doesn't really meet our Fitchburg guidelines. The requirements specifically that the person asking for the funding is not from Fitchburg, and the project would take place in Fitchburg Public Library, but it doesn't have a letter. And it also lacks names of local contributors or partners from Fitchburg. So I would say decline, and the reason would be that it does not meet our posted local criteria.
Thank you, Lily. Anyone else speaking to the motion?
I came to the same conclusion for the same reasons.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Okay, all those in favor? Any opposed? That'd be unanimous. The motion fails. Okay, next application. It will be number 6 in your book. Application ID is FY25 LCC 98186 for grantee Allison Blaisdell. And the project is Resilience Reset, Mastering Mind Body Wellness. I have a motion on the table for this grant.
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion to approve grant from Liz for grant FY25 LCC 98186. Is there a second? Mike, you won the hand up there.
Yeah.
Okay, anyone speaking to the motion? Tamar.
I'd like to know where this is happening. Does anyone know Allison? What is 21 Tully Street? Is that her home?
I did search online, and it appears that it's like an acupuncture place. So I think that it should be the place where this business is occurring. Now, I don't know what's the,
You can
if it
try it.
appears like that, sorry?
No, I'm sorry. I was lining up the next speaker, sorry.
Oh, okay. Yes, so it appears that it's that place.
Thank you, Liz.
So I do know Allison. She is an acupuncturist. 21 Public Street is a brick building directly behind Slattery's. And it's multiple tenancies. So she's got her acupuncture studio, but there are people that do massage and therapy and other types of, so it's kind of a wellness based office building.
Catherine?
My only concern is, that it's not super related to arts and, humanities. I know science, are we looking for more wellness type, events or more entertainment? So.
Would it fall
This-
under
and it's-
healing arts?
So it falls under humanities, mind, body, soul sort of thing is
Is that going to be part of the science of the sciences?
Yeah.
Or-
humanities, which is,
Okay.
there's sciences behind it, for sure. But the project discipline they actually were requesting under was humanities. Thank you. And will you hand up again?
Yes, I was just kind of like in the fence too. It's more like as a project of humanities. However, even though it meets all of the criteria, my only questions could be about the Fitchburg priorities, that it doesn't seem that it really tackles some of the people that we were trying to include, and specifically like the part of community-wide programs like festivals, But again, this is prioritized, but it's not required. So just that we have that in mind, that it checks all of the boxes. It seems all of the projects seem extremely interesting for our community, but that's the only thing that keeps me on the fence. And some questions about the budget, but again, I'm going to reserve those for the meeting about the budget.
So before you speak, I just want to address that statement. The priorities are, you clearly articulated what the priorities were all about. And one thing that's important to note is that the applications do not need to check every box. So there's no need to be concerned about them meeting one or two instead of all the priorities. It would be pretty tough to have all the boxes checked to cover every priority that we set in the diverse city that we have. So Lily, I think, does that sufficiently explain?
Yes,
Suggesting?
Yes, I just said that, like, again, that I think that it has all of the components, just like if at some point we have to make more clear decisions not to pass to the next one, that would be my only concern about
Oh,
this.
so for a future.
Exactly.
Okay, great.
Exactly.
Thank you. And Sherry?
I wanted to say that, like, I think as far as eligibility, it definitely meets the criteria, and that discussion is for when we're evaluating the different grants, in the next stage. So, yeah, I appreciate that you're thinking about those things, Lily.
Thank you. Anyone else speaking to the motion? Tamara?
I don't think it's broad enough who it's helping. I think it feels a little limiting. But that's just my personal comments. I just want to put that out
You
there.
do.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else speaking to the motion? Okay, all those in favor? All opposed? Okay, we have 2 opposed and we do not. How many people are here tonight?
No,
9.
so 7 counts. 2 opposed,
2 opposed.
and.
1 opposed. Motion carries. All right. Okay, moving on to the 6th application. No, 5th application. Application number FY25 LCC 103189. Grantee Amy Bosco. And the project title is the 4th Annual Fairy Festival of Gardening. Is there a motion on the table for this grant?
I'll make a motion.
I have a motion from Tamar to approve grant FY25 LCC 103189. Is there a second?
I'll second.
I have a second from Sharon. Anyone speaking to the motion? Sharon?
Yeah, this does not meet the requirements. It's not in Fitchburg. It's not somebody who lives in Fitchburg. They have no specific connection. They were very vague, and They didn't even mention in their application that they're serving anybody locally here in Fitchburg.
Thank you, Liz.
I would like her to bring this festival to Fitchburg,
Yes.
and then we would fund it,
Yeah.
but not in Gardner.
Anyone else speaking to the motion? Okay, all in favor? All opposed?
Sorry,
Motion fails.
sorry, Amy.
So this is the state eligibility.
That'll be local criteria. Okay, grant, eighth one in the list, grant number FY 25 LCC 103835. This is for grantee,
Same person.
oh, it's the same name, all right. It is Amy Roscoe again, for a project called Central Mass Homeschoolers Book Fair. We have a motion to accept this grant application.
Motion to approve?
A motion to approve. And Liz, FY 25 LCC 103835. I heard a second from Dan. Sharon, are you good? Okay, anyone speaking to the motion? Sharon? Yeah, I didn't see anyone else raising. Go ahead, Mike. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I would say that we decline. The reason is it does not meet our posted local criteria. The person is not from Fitchburg. The project will not take place in Fitchburg. It will be in Richmond. I'm sorry, I always pronounce back the names of Massachusetts places, but it's not in Fitchburg. Therefore, there are not letter of support and no description of partners. So I think that we have enough reasons to decline.
Thank you, Lily. Mike?
What she said, I couldn't find any support job.
Okay. Anyone else speaking to the motion? Okay, all those in, oh, I'm sorry, Catherine, I didn't finish that. I didn't finish saying the vote, so you
No, I
have the
had.
floor.
It's interesting, but it's a homeschooling book fair. I'm just wondering how many people will come out for the event. In this, I'm not understanding. It's two,
Yeah, I was anticipating 250 or 175, yeah.
yeah, so
It is a homeschooling
it's not
network.
showing out of the community.
If there were people, it's homeschoolers in Fitchburg, I can do that.
Yeah,
Right.
have a combination of homeschoolers of the local families and everything together, but what it is, very limited.
Okay. All those in favor? Any opposed? The motion fails.
And how do you pronounce the name of the town?
Not which. With.
Okay, next grant application, number 9, grant application ID FY 25 LCC 88423. Grantee is Teresa Borasa, and her project is Saints Celebrating the Relics, the Righteous and the Rebellion.
I will make a motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve from Shara, FY 25 LCC 88423. Is there a second?
Second.
A second from Dan. Anyone speaking to the motion? Liz?
I love the idea of this project, but First Parish Church is not accessible. It's not,
Is not what?
it's not accessible. It's not physically accessible.
Oh. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else speaking to the motion? Lily?
yes, with this project, the one in particular of names of local, no. The qualification of the key artists and like humanist or who is involved here, it's not listed either. So they do list like people that work as individuals or organizations that will be involved, but not the people that are going to participate here. That I'm not sure if it's the self-applicant, the
Yeah,
person that
the
will
grantee
contact.
is the artist.
Yes, but I would like, I mean, I'm not only me because here I think that we have to list the qualifications included. And
It's you guys in Boylston, right? Yeah,
I'm sorry, Dan, did you want the floor?
just
Anything else?
yeah, just that fair point. I didn't consider that.
Anyone else speaking to the motion? Okay, Sharon?
I have to say that if it's not an accessible space, then I think that it doesn't meet our criteria. That's the bottom line. That's unfortunate. I think it's an exciting thing.
Yeah. Anyone else speaking to the motion? Okay, I just want to add that this grantee is one that we had given a grant to last season for I forget the project name, but it was held over at Boba Cafe.
Oh, yeah. That's so good.
Yes.
I went to it.
I knew something about this felt very familiar.
Yes.
It's interesting because she's also disabled, the artist. Just disability, is that the state anti-discrimination or is that state eligibility?
The disability, the eligibility criteria says ADA requirement accessible for persons with disabilities, including the facility or event location, as well as the content of the program. And then there's a symbol that says a candid assessment and identification of barriers, physical, virtual, cultural, and communication has been taken, and a plan to remove barriers from exists.
Is that the state eligibility?
So that is the state's eligibility requirements. Okay, anyone else speaking to the motion? All those in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. And that you have the reason.
Yep.
From the state list.
Yep, got it.
Okay, next application is. This is the 10th one, application ID FY25 LCC 95875. Grantee is Breathing Secrets Incorporated. And the project title, I'm sorry. That's the organization. Sorry, the grantee is Nima Patel. She's a contact. And it is for project titled Traditional Garba Dandiya Dance. Garba Dandiya Dance. I said that okay. Is there a motion on the table for this one?
Make a motion to approve LCC 95875.
Okay, we have a motion from Tamar to approve FY25 LCC 95875. Is there a second? Second. A second from Mike. Anyone speaking to the motion? Lily?
This particular project is not from a person in Fitchburg, and this project would take place in Game On, but it doesn't have the letter of support. And in addition to that, it lacks of the names of local contributors, partners, and the list of qualifications. So I would say that I would recommend to decline, and the reason would be that it does not meet our posted local criteria.
Okay, thank you, Lily. Liz?
It's unfortunate because I think this is the kind of thing that'd be great to fund. But in addition to what Lily said, they're suggesting that they're going to charge $30 to $40 a ticket.
Right.
And that feels it feels like it's making it less accessible. I know in previous years, sort of the whether it was free was part of our criteria, but I don't know if it is this year. I didn't see something.
There's not.
So I'm not sure how to consider that, or if we should consider the cost.
Well, the cost to attend is definitely a consideration, and it's a matter of opinion of the counselors as to what they feel is appropriate, and they can vote accordingly. Anyone else speaking to the motion? Okay, and I didn't say this with the last application, but I feel the same with this application, same as Liz. I think that I really like the project, and it's unfortunate that the primary criteria in order for us to move this along we're not met on this one. So that would be my feeling on the current application. Anyone else speaking on the motion before I move to a vote? Okay, all those in favor? All opposed? It's unanimous with fails. That's good. This is number 11. And folks, we have a conflict of interest on this one. No one needs to be recused, just we've signed form on this one. Our grantee is a former officer of the Cultural Council. It's FY25 LCC 104780 from the Care Initiative Corporation, New Chipoy. The project title is On the GOE Pop-Up Postcards Project. Is there a motion on the table for this grant?
I'll make a motion.
I have a motion from Shara,
Make a second.
a second from Tamar. Anyone speaking to the motion? Lil,
I just have a question. If, like where the project take place, it's kind of like, vague in some way because it says in Fitchburg, Massachusetts and surrounding rural areas. Would we want to consider more specificity when approving the projects, or is this enough? Just
so Alicia has been a recurring grantee for many years through the Cultural Council and has executed successfully on every request that she has had. And some of her programs follow where the community is, and that develops as she builds her program. And so I as a longtime counselor, I know that she will find a place and she will get this done as intended. And we do afford residents of Fitchburg the opportunity to, they don't need their letters of support from the venues and where they're going to operate. We give them a little leeway. So that's my feeling on it.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, I missed that.
Anything else, Lou?
No, it was only that.
Okay. Jan, did you start?
I just had reservations about specifics, but if you say that, she'll figure it out or whatnot, then I have less concerns.
Okay.
If she's had past events and they've been successful.
I didn't know.
Okay. Anyone else speaking to the motion? Yes,
I would just say, it looks like it's eligible as a communities project, but I don't really understand what the postcard piece is.
And how they piece together
Yeah.
all the projects. It's more total projects.
Yeah, I
I'm sorry,
wish she would
Catherine and Lily,
have,
excuse me, sorry, we're debating here, deliberating.
I wish that she just would have put a little more information into this.
And how they connect.
Right.
Okay, anyone else speaking to the motion?
I think the same thing. I feel like it's unclear. Like I get that it's, about mental wellness, but I don't understand what the project actually is.
Can I say one more thing? My concern is that we're going to be holding this grant to a different standard than other grants. And because we know this person has done grants before, we're more eligible to approve a grant. But if it was someone new, I think I would honestly say, I would say no to this grant if this person didn't have a history. And is that okay? I mean, is holding these grants to different standards?
Liz?
I would say from my perspective, track record does matter.
Yeah.
But I hear what you're saying, that it does create sort of a different standard for folks that have applied before versus people who don't apply. But having said that, I still feel like this could have been better explained.
Yeah.
What actually was happening.
Is there a specific item in the criteria list that would apply to that statement? I'm just curious. Oh, sorry, Tamara, yes.
I'm not sure this is what you're looking for, but I found that not only is it vague and there's not a location, it's also not really helping. It's not really benefiting a large part of the community. There's only 60 people that may participate. So, I mean, that follows under not enough public benefit. It's not much public benefit. That's all I have to say.
Anyone else? Okay, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Was it 6? Okay, opposed? 1, 2, 3, 4.
So
Motion.
we're 10 people, that 11 people.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think
Yeah.
four.
So it's 6 and 4, motion passes. Okay, next application is number 12, FY 25, LCC 104896. Grantee, same grantee, it's Care Initiative, Kenesha Corey, project titled A Traveling Arts Journey, Rest and Reflect. Is there a motion to approve this application? Tamara makes a motion to approve FY 25 LCC 104896. Is there a second?
Ellen seconds.
Alan seconds. Anyone speaking to the motion? Sharon?
I think this one is a lot more clear, and I think it seems to serve public benefit. So she's talking about doing things in Fitchburg and the rest of Worcester County, so it has a wider scope.
In the tentative agreement with the Fitchburg Art Museum.
Anyone else?
Oh, sorry, I did have
Yes, Dan.
one concern. You said one of the venues was Walgreens.
Yeah.
Yes.
How is that relevant?
Oh, you want to talk to that?
I know Walgreens has supported the arts in the community of Fitchburg and has hosted events where artists can display work. And so I'm assuming that that's probably the correlation.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll back that up a little bit more. So that you did that. Kenesha actually has done this project before. Partnering with Walgreens, they have a community outreach type of a program.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
great.
there'll be some art displayed in the windows of Walgreens.
Even better.
Yeah.
Well, there's a huge a huge audience.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people go to the pharmacy.
And it's off the beaten path, you know, it's like a different venue, which is kind of nice.
Right.
Another way to repeat it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, cool.
Anyone else speaking to the motion? Okay, all those in favor? That's unanimous. Next up is application 13. FY 25 LCC 104875, Central Celeste Corporation for the project 2025 Uruguay Independence Day Festival.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve from Tamar for application FY 25 LCC 104875. Is there a second?
I'll second.
I have a second from Jen. Anyone speaking to the motion? Lily?
I think that this project covers all of our criteria. My only concern here is if it's not posing some like natural barriers to the entrance with the structure of the cost of participation. Because while it is affordable, if we compare with other projects that could be like $40, it would be like $15 car for non-members and $5 car for members. So this is a part that, from my point of view, was like, if this funding is coming from the public, from all the taxpayers in Massachusetts, I would feel uncomfortable with this structure of pricing. But I know that it's a project from this particular group, but this is only something that raised concerns to me, so I wanted to bring to the attention of all of you. I didn't find any violation, but yes, some potential barriers to the attendance with this difference between.
Thank you, Lily. Anyone else speaking to the motion?
It's a really good point.
Thank you, Dan. Go ahead, you can.
I was just gonna say, I don't really feel like that's a high barrier, the cost. Especially if it was multiple people. I guess I'm making an assumption that, it's like a family go.
No, but I didn't want to say that it's a barrier. Mostly if we compare with like $40 or something like that, no. The only thing is that for members of this organization, it would have a different cost than for non-members. That's the part that for me, like makes noise, because the money is coming from the state of Massachusetts, right? From all taxpayers. So it's going to an organization that it's gonna do what it's called like price discrimination, depending, not this, this is like an economic term, I just want to say, like price discrimination in the sense that like from members of the public, it's gonna be a different price than from non-members. That was like my own.
I think in this case, because it's an organization, it's this Uruguayan cultural group, that people who are part of the group, at least in theory, they're helping to put on the event. So it's like sweat equity, and they're paying less because they're members.
But that's an assumption that I don't have any evidence. Like anecdotally, it would make total sense for me. And even if I was a member from a group, I would think like, yeah, there's something. But once you receive like money from the state, like from the public, this is the part that I think that we have to be in some ways like more consistent or coherent with like the standards too.
It's an interesting concept, but I think it is kind of a standard with a lot of organizations that if you're a member that you get a discount, and if you're not a member, you don't. And I don't think it's an unreasonable rate, but it's interesting what you're saying. I think that maybe is in the consideration, like in the next stage.
Yes, like I don't know if this is something that we could even suggest in the future to say like, hey, a standard rate for everybody.
So thank you, Lily. I was about to wrap up the conversation to say exactly that.
Okay.
So this would be something worth putting into our discussions when we plan out our requirements for next year. So I do also just want to supplement part of that conversation with the budget for this entire event was $8,600, and we're being asked to fund $1,400.
Yeah.
So they're making up the cost in part with these admittance fees. Okay, I'll take the vote now. Anyone, all in favor? Passes unanimously.
I just want to make a note that it's just about 6 o'clock, so we need to be ready by 6:30.
Right, maybe just think about whether or not they're eligible, and then the other stuff isn't perfect.
Okay. Moving on to the 14th grant in the book. It's FY25 LCC 102220 for Matthew Shelfu for a project titled Heal Yourself with Your Own Two Hands. So motion on the table for this. Tamara, motion to approve FY25 LCC 102220. Is there a second?
I'll second.
A second from Sharon. Anyone speaking to the motion? Tamara.
It just doesn't, it's 12 people it's serving, just doesn't feel very community focused. Personal comment.
Sharon.
I also think that, this is also at that, wellness place that the other one was, and it isn't like, I think it's a wonderful thing, but I think it isn't specific to the arts, So I don't know, I feel like it doesn't serve a large enough audience, and doesn't. While wellness is important, I think that it's. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
No, that's fine. Anyone else speaking to the motion?
If we fund one, we have to fund the other one, right?
Right, yeah, that's what I was thinking. So
Which was the one we're referring to?
Yes.
Allison's number 7.
So she was proposing to fund 20 or to 20%.
We approved the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one's good.
I feel this one is like, I still, even though we didn't approve the other one,
So we did approve the other one.
yeah,
Okay.
I still come down on the side of it was just too narrow. Go in that scope of wellness, so the combination, I think it declines.
Anyone else? Ellen?
I agree. I think the number of class served is limited. I wonder if that has something to do with the content of the workshop being massage therapy, Reiki, all that. Anything that promotes self-regulation in a stressful time, I'm very open to. Yeah, and I would agree. The birth funded one might make sense to me.
Anyone else? Okay, I'll just add to the statements here that we have historically approved programs such as that, not this specific topic, but for small numbers of people. I recall last year we funded a scholarship program for students to learn art through Art on the Wax. It was a small target audience that we paid to have them teach their students a craft of some kind. I don't view this as really any different. This one also, I'm thinking logistically to pull something like this off, a 6-week course, to get a large number of people to commit to 6 weeks of this type of training and the capacity of the facility, it just doesn't seem like it would be feasible in the context. And that's just where I stand on it. Okay, ready to take a vote, guys? All those in favor? 6. 1, 2, 3. How many was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. I got 5. That's not good.
That was a
Talking
Yeah,
Yeah, 5 and 5.
it's 5 and 5. So we don't have a decision. I guess we need to keep talking about it.
Oh, you don't have a decision.
Yes.
Can we just like see the hands again? And I feel like it was
All those that
6.
were in favor of funding.
Who was in
grant
favor? Okay.
1,
It was-
0, 2,
It's 6.
There were 6.
Yeah.
Okay, then we pass it. Pass it.
Isn't it?
Thank you.
Okay, next grant application is number 15, grant number FY25 LCC 103864. Meredith Charles, project title Adult Improv Workshops. Is there a motion? A motion from Catherine to approve FY25 LCC 103864 and a second from Tamar. You want to take, Charlotte?
Yeah.
Anyone speaking to the motion? Lily?
I think that the deal breaker for me would be that it's not providing a letter. It's not a resident from Fitchburg and it's not providing a letter from where the project would be taking place. And just in addition to that, they not required but prioritized. Yes, the person doesn't live in Fitchburg, but also it doesn't seem that it's benefiting some of the target population that we have for this year. So my recommendation would be to decline, and the reason would be that it does not meet our posted local criteria, specifically the letter of support from a Fitchburg partner.
Thank you, Lily. Anyone else speaking to the motion? Yes, Liz.
I just want to say it's a shame that they put in their application that the New Players Theater Guild have agreed to host and they didn't get a letter.
Yeah.
Neither.
And yeah, that was my sentiments as well as, and I'm a big fan of comedy and I'm kind of bummed out.
Me too.
So anyway, anyone else want to speak to the motion before we move to a vote? Okay, all those in favor? Opposed? Were you in favor,
I was
Catherine?
in favor.
Okay, Catherine's in favor. Opposed? Rest are opposed, motion fails.
Sorry, New Players Theater Guild.
Sorry.
It's a
Sorry, person.
The vendors get the letter.
Do they get a feedback of what they need to do for next year?
What happens at the conclusion of this meeting, we'll go to the system and mark the defined applications, and our letter will automatically go out to the grantees with an explanation.
Will they know why they didn't, like,
They'll get they'll have what's listed in the reason for decline on your worksheet. We'll tell them what that is.
Hopefully they reapply.
And, they're welcome to contact us for further details.
And they're welcome to appeal.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
Then we come back with the letter.
Well, they can't come back with a letter. But an appeal, no.
Okay.
It had to be there.
Okay, next grant is number 16, FY 25 LCC 100609. This is City of Fitchburg for project titled Festival Latino.
I make a motion that we approve this grant proposal.
Have a motion, Shara, for to approve FY 25 LCC 100609, second from Liz. Anyone speaking to the motion? Second, Mike.
Oh,
Did you want to speak to the motion?
no, I thought we needed
Okay.
a second.
No, I have a second. We're good. Thank you.
Okay,
Anyone speaking to the motion?
well, I will speak to it.
Okay.
This last time they did it, I thought it was very cool and very broad appeal. So, all in favor of it.
Thank you, Mike. Anyone else speaking to the motion?
Sure.
Sharon?
I attended it actually, there last year. And aside from the fact that we had really bad weather, they had so much interest in the event. And there were so many wonderful aspects of like performances and things. And it's a really wonderful community event. And it checks all the boxes. Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else speaking to the motion? Okay, all in favor? Passes unanimously. That's all.
I said, we'll do this a couple more times.
Yeah.
I'll say it is there.
Next is grant, the 17th grant in the book, FY 25 LCC 104519. It is the city of Fitchburg. Again, this is all these are from the Civic Days Committee. This is for the event, the Civic Days Block Party.
Motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve from Liz. Is there a second? Second from Tamar. Again, that's approved. Motion approved for FY 25 LCC 104519. Anyone speaking to the motion? Carol.
So this is a, tried and true event that's been going on here forever. We always lend some support to it. It's just a small portion of all the funding that they get. And it checked all boxes. I say yes.
Anyone else speaking to the motion? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, it's unanimous. And just check all the things. So, there you go. Next grant application number 18. I'm reading it. This is also City of Fitchburg. Grant application ID FY 25 LCC 104757 for the project, the Civic Days Parade, which is held on July 4th. Anyone, we have a motion on the table. I have a motion to approve from Tamar for FY 25 LCC 104757. Is there a second? I see Mike's hand go up first. Mike for the second. Anyone speaking to the motion?
I see all the arguments for the previous two apply here. Already supported.
Okay, great. Anyone else? Okay, all those in favor? Passes unanimously. Next grant application is number 19. Again, this is City of Fitchburg Civic Days Committee, application ID FY 25 LCC 104866. Is for project, it's project titled Amazing Duck Race. Is there a motion to approve this grant on the table? I have a motion to approve from Tamar for FY 25 LCC 104866. Anyone speaking to the motion? I'm sorry, is there a second?
Seconds.
I have a second from Ellen. Now anyone speaking to the motion?
I think it's a great event. I brought my daughter here, and my son, I guess he didn't come this year, but this is cool. It's great. I think it's a wonderful community event.
Thank you, Alan. Jen, did you have something? Do you have?
Nope.
Okay, I just saw your hand go up. Okay, Catherine?
Quack, quack, wow, wow.
Put that in the official record.
We have that on.
I question how artistic it is.
We'll need a translator next time. Anyone else speaking on the motion? Okay, all those in favor? That is also unanimous. Thank you all. Next up is the 20th application in the book. That's FY 25 LCC 104910. It is Civic Days again. Looking for the project Trick or Treat on Main Street. There a motion on the table for this one?
So moved.
I have a motion from Liz to approve FY 25 LCC 104910. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
A second from Sharon. Anyone speaking to the motion? Yes, Lily.
Would this be considered humanities? I had a hard time like visualizing where to put it. Like I'm not saying that it's not a good project, like it's a project that brings a lot of people. Just I had a hard time visualizing it as related to art sciences. Would it be considered humanities then?
Sure, I might offer a thought on that. The applicant had submitted it as the discipline as theater. And theater being folks who are arriving dressed in costume, playing characters.
Okay.
So I feel that it's related from there. That's my opinion.
I don't know what's price.
And what?
And the haunted houses.
And the haunted house they do, that's, yes, for sure. Anyone else speaking to the motion?
Just a question. He's a busy guy. Does he help with all this stuff, Miles?
Well, Miles is, he's the mayor's assistant and he helps lead the Civic Days Committee, which is a larger group of people that execute all the different things that happen in the city, or posted by the city, yes.
Thanks.
Cool. Anyone else speaking to the motion?
I was just gonna say, I'd argue that it might serve, sorry,
No, you have the floor, Alan. Yes.
more than 4,000. I mean, I feel like the last couple of years,
I thought there were a lot more than 4,000.
Oh, yeah,
Last year.
it's huge.
Yeah.
definitely reached a lot.
They may have submitted this before Trick or Treat happened too. right?
That's true, it was due before trick or treat.
Yeah.
You're right. They'll have the numbers on there next year. Okay, all those in favor? And that is passes unanimously. Oh, did you have your hand up?
I wasn't voting for this one, but yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Absolutely.
so I was declining, yeah, but
Okay,
not unanimous.
it passes 9-1.
Yeah, but it still passed.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't say that. Next grant is 21, grant application FY 25 LCC 104992, another city of Fitchburg. This is for the holiday lights. Next. Is there a motion on the table to accept it? I have a motion from Tamar to accept FY 25 LCC 104992. Is there a second? I have a second from Dan. Anyone speaking to the motion? Lily?
So it says that the project will take place in December, but it doesn't specify the year. And in this case, it could, I don't know if they are asking for funding for 2024, 2025, or both, if we can make that assumption ourselves, or how would that work?
In this case, we get this request every year, and we did fund December 2023.
So it takes to assume then that
is more likely
24?
for this year, yes.
Okay.
And just for.
And we
to
could
take
fund
that-
25, sorry?
Yeah,
Like next year, there's gonna be another of these rounds?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, so I'm going to clarify a little bit about why it's okay for us to vote for December of this year.
Okay.
So we fund this grant cycle. We fund any projects that have started on July 1 of this year through December 31st of next year. In this particular case, this will be a reimbursement grant because the event will have already happened by the time we vote in the funding. If when we get to the funding meeting, we decide not to fund this at all, the city doesn't get the 1,500, but they'll have already done the project, so to speak.
Okay, So then it's December the 24th.
Yes,
Yeah.
December 2024.
yes. Anyone else speaking of the motion? You came out in the end. Okay. Seeing none, okay, all those in favor? That is unanimous, yeah. Okay, application number 22. This is FY 25 LCC 104348 from Coffee Corp, which is Derek Craig. Project title is See Hear Feel Hip Hop Series, or Hip Series, I think about that typo. Hip Hop Series 2025. So a motion to approve this application. I have a motion from Tamar for to approve FY 25 LCC 104348. Is there a second? I have a second from Lily. Anyone speaking to the motion? Yes, Liz.
Looks like a cool project. They did it once before. The only thing I would say is, again, one of the venues is First Parish Church, but there's a whole host of other, and that's not accessible, but there are a whole host of other spaces that are accessible.
Yeah, and I'm especially fond of with events that target the youth, younger people, just saying.
Thank you, Mike. Anyone else speaking to the motion? Sharon, you ready for vote?
Give me a second.
Yeah.
This is on number 22, right?
Yes. 104348.
Who did the motion in the second?
Motion was Tamar. The second was Lily.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Sorry.
I'll just say for this, I'm a big fan of the work that Coffee Corp is doing and their targeting of the youth and trying to engage the hip hop community. I think that it's a well worth endeavor for us to be involved. You ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. All those in favor?
Yes.
Thank you. Next up is number 23 in your book, grant application FY 25 LCC 105072. This is Coffee Corp again for projects titled Buy Black Market Juneteenth Celebration 2025. Is there a motion to approve this? I have a motion from Tamar to approve FY 25 LCC 105072. Is there a second? Catherine seconds. Anyone speaking to the motion?
Question, has
Yes,
this
Mike.
happened this past year?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, had it on Juneteenth, June 19th. Anyone else speaking to the motion?
I think it's really cool to empower, like this whole theory of a black market, just that it was about supporting, Black artisans and merchants, and I think it seems like the right time to do that.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, Ellen.
I really like the fact that it takes place in City Hall, because I feel like that when people enter the space, like they can be familiar with it. So that I think is a great thing.
Thank you, Ellen. Anyone else speaking to the motion? Okay, all those in favor? It passes unanimously. Thank you all. Next up is application number 24. This is FY 25 LCC 90200. Catherine Covito Pulasi for a project titled Developing Digital Literacy. The motion on the table for the count. I have a motion from Ellen to approve FY 25 LCC 90200. Is there a second? I have a second from Catherine. Anyone speaking to the motion? Lily.
I would say that I would decline this project because the participant It's not from Fitchburg, and the place would be in McKay Elementary School, but it doesn't provide the letter of support from the partner or venue. In addition to that, I do have other concerns with budget, but in this case, that is only like approving is not, it does not meet our posted local criteria.
Yes, Mike.
Maybe I misunderstood the comments in the back. I took it as being supporting doc. I didn't mean wrong, but I had the same question, but I took that as this as being sufficient.
Emma?
I just know that though she doesn't live here, she works here. So she's got a Fitchburg State email address, so she's obviously somebody who's connected to the town.
Okay.
Yeah.
Catherine?
I just think that anything that promotes literacy of any kind is really valid. I like the validity of the project, and it is McKay Elementary.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Yeah, digital literacy is more important than ever, so.
Right.
Yeah. Especially digital.
Yeah.
I think,
Yes, Sharon.
I think that because she works in the town, it's like if you live here or you work here,
Yeah.
then that letter of support is not required.
Yeah,
And
I didn't know.
And I know they did this last year too, didn't they?
Yeah, I was going to speak to that when you're done.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, so I think it doesn't fall under the doesn't meet requirements.
Okay. Anyone else speaking to the motion? Okay, I will just add that this is a recurring application. This teacher is a Fitchburg school system teacher. She works for Fitchburg State. It's a McKay school. It's kind of a partnership school with the city of Fitchburg. And she's a very dedicated grantee and a steward of our funds. She contacted me after completing her project last year, saying she still had like $100 left over from her grant, and she wanted to give it back to the city. And I told her, you can probably find ways to buy more books to give to your students, and I think you should do that instead. And that's what she did. And she fulfilled that and filled her quota for books. She got more books with the money that we gave her, and her students have benefited from that. So I'm in support of this.
Can I just going to
Yeah, sure.
mention that it's 6:23 and you're going to.
Yes, oh yes, I am watching the clock. This might be our last one.
We're doing good though.
Yeah. Anyone else speaking to the motion? Okay, all those in favor? It is unanimous. Thank you all. And let me just see, what is the next one? We're gonna be able to do this one? No, okay, we'll hold that one for next meeting. Let me just make a note here. So our next grant review meeting is 2 weeks from today, which is December 1st. Is that right?
Third.
Second, I think your head's nuts. Yeah.
Yes, our next grant review meeting is December 2nd. It'll be from 6 to 8 p.m. I have been assured we will have 2 hours to do that meeting so that we can cover more ground. I want to congratulate you all for getting through the 23 applications that we did. I think the training wheels are off, and we'll hit the ground running at the next meeting. Is there anything anyone wants to announce before we adjourn? Okay. And need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn from Tamar. Is there a second?
Ellen, second.
Alan seconds. All in favor? That is unanimous. We close the meeting at 6:25 p.m.
Nice.
Thank you all very much.